Hello everybody, I'm here to help you guys figure out how to mod your warframes and all your weapons as well as companions because modding is everywhere. And to be honest with you, D doesn't really do a good job at teaching you how to mod, and a lot of the guides are either outdated or they're just way too extensive. So I want to be making this as bare bones as possible and give you all the possible information that you would need to make your weapons good and or your warframes or what have you. Here we are at the simulacrum. The way you get to simulacrum is by going to the relay and talking to Cephalon Samaris's little loot thing in the corner. I'll show you that real fast so I can introduce you to this area. So you can go to fast travel here, go to Cephalon Samaris, and then a relay. I go to the Chronia relay on Saturn because it's, at least in my opinion, is the best. The simulacrum access key is 50,000 standing. You get this from Samaris, and the way that you're able to get that standing is if you either synthesize targets or you can do the Sanctuary Onslaught stuff. Either way, it works. You have three options of your simulacrum if you unlock them. So the first option that you get when you buy it is going to be the Citadel. The second one's going to be the ballroom, and that way, and this one you get from like events and stuff, like Plague Star or other events like that. You can go on the Warframe wiki, type in ballroom simulacrum. I believe you can also buy it from Borrow, if I'm not mistaken. And then the Sanctum simulacrum is only available to you if you are full standing with the Cavia and you talk to Bird 3. If you don't know who that is or the Cavia or anything like that, it's the new after you have to complete the Whisper of the Wall quest, and that's the new clan syndicate thing going on. So after you, I personally like this one because I can make the enemies a lot stronger, 25 levels higher than max that I could choose. So that's why I go here. So let's speak about warframes. What makes a warframe a warframe? They are known as steel gods in lore. They're known as the unkillable machines, the destructive warriors that they are. Just a lot of things. So with these warframes, excuse me, sorry about that. Had something stuck in my throat. So with these warframes, what can you do to make them stronger? Well, let's take for example a warframe I have yet to mod. I'll choose Grendel, why not? Grendel is unique in the fact that he's not a warframe that has very much shields. Very many shields. Very much shields is better though. So he doesn't have very much shields. So he has more health. Armor's really not too good. But here you can see his base stats. So 1,295 health, 95 shields, 400 armor, and 250 energy. So, yeah, he doesn't have very much shields, very many shields. He doesn't have very much health. I mean, it's higher than the shields. But he's not like a Naros who doesn't have any shields at all. So, when it comes down to these shields, what can you do to make him better? Well, there's a hidden mechanic. If you read, shield regenerated automatically, blah, blah, blah. When shields break, become invulnerable. If that's because I have this on. That's why it's only 1.33 seconds of full shield gate immunity and not what's supposed to be, which is going to be 8 seconds. 0.8 seconds, my bad. 0.8 seconds. So catalyzing shields really increases that time instead of, well, without it. So these are the mods I went with because you're going to be taking a lot of damage on health. You're really going to just have to make this better, right? Like we can look at this and be like, okay, well, there's no Forma. He has so many random polarities everywhere. What is he really good with, right? So we're going to first start off with the stance. And the reason why I like to start off with the stances first and foremost is because I can increase the capacity. So I might as well do that automatically right off the bat without having to worry about much, right? Like that's the reason why you slap a potato on here. That's the reason why you want to use your stance mods. So we're going to put a corrosive projection just because it reduces enemy armor by 18%. Another thing I can go with, catalyzing shields really helps and benefits us, so we're going to use that instead. Our health, we could go for full Umbra mods here, in all honesty. We could, because I have them, so I might as well, right? The problem with that is the fact that now I have no room for much else, right? I'm using so much for this Warframe already. Oh, there's my Energize. The reason why I like Grace and Energize is because I get energy back and health if I take lethal damage. So I can add more to this guy for Nourish, right? I can add so much to Nourish, or I could remove that for Adaptability. I could go for more health and armor. I could go for a Rage here. If I'm not mistaken, Rage is a V polarity. I can go for a Rage. Realistically, I could do a lot here with this frame. I could do a lot. And this is probably a good build. I don't know. I have to test it out. I also don't have any energy to really... I don't have a huge energy pool. So I'm going to have to go for a flow. So where's my prime flow? There it is. Boom. Now we're not left with much else. I mean, we have adaptation. We have rage. We have some strength here. I mean, realistically, I could just stick with this build and be okay. But if you don't have Umbral Fiber, Umbral Intensify, and Vitality already, like, maxed out or anything like that, what I would recommend you do then is you can replace these mods with the regular ones. So let's go ahead and... Oh. I completely forgot about that. That mod right there. The mod I just got rid of. I can't... Hang on. There's a bug. Bug frame hits again, boys. There we go. I forgot about that one. I cannot use adaptation. I'm not going to have enough room for that. Let's get rid of that. Boom. And then... Reason why is because I don't want to be knocked down. This is a login reward that you can get after hitting 400 days. Sorry, my hair's in my face, and I don't like it. That's why it's good to be looking at your mods and stuff, and always change it up. What else can you do here? So for the regular one, if you don't have rage or anything like that, but you have an energy siphon, you can go ahead and put an energy siphon into the stance mod there, or aura mod, or whatever it's called. You can keep that there. You could go for probably a regular vigor. You got redirection you can put on there if you really want to. You can go with regular steel fiber, and you can go with regular vitality. Also, I like the fact that it tells you here what it is. So if you're also confused by what's a V and D polarity and what an aura mod is, so these are your auras right here. The one with the weird symbol of the circle, the little radar looking thing. That's your aura. Then you got your augments, which are part of the Z polarity over here. But from left to right, V, D, dash, Z, Umbra, and then any. So these are your uniform ones. The little Beyblade looking thing. So yeah, that's it. So when I say V, I'm talking about Matarai. I'm talking about, when I say D, I'm talking about Vazarin. When I talk about Dash, I'm talking about Naramon. And when I'm talking about Z, I'm talking about Zenuric. And then Umbra is, of course, Umbra. Then let's see what else we got here. We could go for a Rage for more energy, especially if you're playing it you know, in a lower level, at lower levels. So you can go for the regular, intensify here. Really anything works. There's really no right or wrong for what your builds are, unless you're dying a lot, and then you have to be like, okay, well, what can I use? Well, I'm talking survivability, vitality, steel fiber, redirection. But for a frame with little to no shields like this, you want actually, you know what? Let's increase those shields. Let's say fuck rage, and let's increase those shields. Now, the reason I'm saying fuck rage and use those shields is because you're playing on a low level, at a low level, where your Warframe's health, shield, and armor take precedent rather than, worrying about shield gaining or worrying about surviving. I mean, you don't even have Arcane Grace yet or anything that will keep you alive. I think Nourish does. Yeah, you get actually health. I do believe you heal from this. Yeah, regenerate health as Grendel absorbs. Okay, so you could go for Rage then. Then you could stick with Rage. And even I get things wrong sometimes. Like, there's so much that goes into making a Warframe work that requires either a lot of reading or a lot of other things. It's a lot in this game. You can go for more energy here, almost doubling it with, or adding on 250. So 250 plus 250 is 500. So there you go. You got 100% more flow. You could also go for Prime Flow if you have it, but if you don't, stick with Flow. I'm going to use Prime Flow here because I have it. I would go for energy efficiency or ability efficiency, so that way you don't spend as much energy on your Warframe as you would normally. So that one's good too. Natural talent you can use to increase the speed of your ability casting. You could do that if you have it, but realistically, these are like all that you need. Everything else is just add-ons, right? So you got more duration if you want it. You got more range if you want it. Bada bing, bada boom. Here's your build, right? I'm gonna stick with this one just because, well, as the Umbral mods, I have them. I have Grace. I don't really need to be spamming my abilities. And everything is almost doubled from what the other one is, right? So this one, in my opinion, is the best build that I made for him. But again, not everyone has these, especially if you're new, or if you're returning, or if you're old. You probably have these mods, you probably don't, and that's fine. If you're new, the reason why I'm telling you, like, oh yeah, here's your, use builds where you'll survive more is because, believe me, early on, you're going to need as much survivability. Even if you're putting in like a vitality here or there, slapping a redirection that's not fully upgraded or anything like that, that's where you need to be in the mindset and give you good habits instead of ruining you by letting you put whatever you want on your Warframe. You're like, well, I'm dying all the time. What can I do? Now, onto the weapons. Alright? The Trumna. The reason why I have heat, corrosive, viral, and slash is because everything else is dog. Everything else is dog shit. It just does not work. I mean, type in corrupted heavy gunner over here, right? If I type it in, the corrupted heavy gunner, look at it. Ferrite armor is 500. So it is resistant to slash and blast, but it's weak against puncture and corrosive. Cloned flesh is weak against slash, heat, and viral, but it resists impact and gas. Some people I know are fighting enemies level 50 with impact and blast. That's fine. You can use those things. It's not a bad idea against level 50s, but against level 210s that you're going to see me fight right now, I'm going to show you why blast, on the Trumna I'll show you why blast and impact are not going to work here. We're going to keep rifle, the galvanized aptitude and all that. So we're going to go for blast. Blast is going to be thermite rounds, rhyme rounds. What else do we need? We need impact. So let's go for impact here. I'm going to go for some rupture. I'm going to go for internal bleeding. And I'll go for some more blast, I guess. I guessed, brother. I guessed. There we go. We'll do this. You know what? No. We'll go for critical delay. Critical delay. Impact and blast. This is gonna add slash to it. I don't feel like having slash added onto this, just so I can show you how bad this is going to be, or good. I just assume it's gonna be terrible. I just assume this is gonna be the worst gun I've ever made in the history of my career. So let's spawn them in. Oh, wrong creatures. Wrong creatures. Wrong creatures. Get them out of here. We don't need them. They're so bad. We don't need those creatures. These creatures right here. We need 20 of these guys. Fuck. Kill. Clear. These guys 20. Boom. Like, it's not going to kill anything. It doesn't do damage over time. It doesn't do anything. It just kind of pushes them around. The impact and blast is just not going to kill them. It's garbage against most enemies. So let me show you what Heat and Corrosive will do. This is the build for the Heat and Corrosive. We went for Malignant Force, High Voltage, Critical Delay, Hammer Shot. Hammer Shot's rare. So if you don't have anything that increases critical damage or status chance in the same thing, so like Hammer Shot, this is the only mod that does it for primaries. If you don't have Hammer Shot, you can replace it. Alright, I'm just trying to give you some ideas. So you want criticals damage, critical chance. You want to go for multi-shot. In this case, I'm using Galvanized Chamber. You can use Split Chamber. I'm using Galvanized Aptitude. Again, you can use Rifle Aptitude, Vital Sense. If you don't have Vital Sense, that's fine. You can just go for straight damage. You can go for Serration. You can do whatever. My Serration's coming from my primary Merciless. You may not have it. So maybe a build for you guys may look something like this. Alright, it may look like, I don't know, Split Chamber, because that one's like really not hard to get. So you can get Split Chamber here. We're going to go with the maxed out ones just because I can, but again, you don't have to. So we can go for like a Split Chamber. We can go for Heat. You're going to get like maybe Hellfire. Maybe you'll have like a Wildfire in there. I get a lot of these. Or not even. I'm going to use more Hellfire because I have more Hellfire. So I'm going to use Hellfire. I'm going to go for Corrosive. You need 60/60 mods. I believe you get those from, you can get some from Vor, you get some from some spies. It's just dependent on what you're looking for, alright? And I will put in High Voltage, I guess, and this. Oh, that gives me gas. Oops. There we go. Heat Corrosive. We can go for Rifle Aptitude. Where the fuck is it? Rifle Aptitude, Rifle Aptitude, Rifle Aptitude. There we go. Boom, we can go for that. For the status chance, we can use Vigilante Armaments. We could do that for more stuff. Vigilante Armaments is a mod that you can get from the Plains of Eidolon, from the bounties on Cetus. So you can get that from there. I have a lot of them, kind of. I have 4. So, shouldn't be too hard to get, hopefully. I think it's the most common drop there. What else can I use? Point Strike for critical chance. And then, I don't know. I guess that's it, really. I guess that's all I can really use. Oh, you know what? I forgot to use a Serration here. That's what I forgot to do. So I'll go with a fully loaded out Serration here, just because you're going to probably have that be your main damage dealing mod. So the reason why I'm using heat and corrosive is because I'm chipping away at their armor, as well as the heat's doing damage over time, which is really, really nice. And since I'm using a serration, I'm able to kill them, right? I mean, this is a weapon using early-ish mods, and it's still kind of just shredding them. So is it steel path viable? I mean, I don't really care. This is like for people that are not in the steel path or even have any of these mods. You could buy the mods, sure, but why spend your plat on that when you can farm them? I mean, it's nightmare mods, so there's a lot of nightmare missions, and you could farm them. Like, everything's farmable, and that's the reason why I like this game, is because it's not hard to get anything. It's just time consuming, right? It's just waiting for things. That's all it is. You're time locked, essentially. What else do I like about this weapon? I like this weapon because it's an AoE. The Trumna is a weapon that you get on Deimos. But again, you can use this with anything, like the Soma Prime. You can use heat and corrosive on almost all the weapons that you want to use it on. Like, even the Ignis Wraith you can use it on. And there's just so much that you could use the weapon, you know? Like, everything on. So, heat and corrosive is really, really good. Really powerful. Now, the reason why I like viral and slash is because viral and slash can go through armor no matter what. It's essentially true damage. The only difference is it cannot, when it hits some enemy with like a shield, it can only goes through the shield and the health at the same time, so it hits both. It doesn't just go for health immediately. On top of that, viral reduces maximum health by a lot, so you're able to reduce their health and then bleed them out and drain them, essentially, right? So this weapon is nice. Now, if you're like, well, I don't have the Trumna, I don't have this, I don't have that, then again, you can go for, I don't know, maybe a weapon that you might have, like the Boltor, the regular Boltor, or something like, what's a good early on weapon? You know what? Let's use one of the worst weapons that I've ever seen, which are these Prisma weapons, right? These Prisma weapons kind of suck. I like the Groctica, I just like the look of it. So I'm going to slap a potato on this guy. I'm going to slap a potato on it. And let us build a mod for it. Let's build a low cost, heat and corrosive, viral and slash build. Alright? Because everyone uses the Groctica. I mean, it's a Prisma Groctica, which means that some of the percentages are different. Like, the damage is a little bit higher on this, but it's going to give you some sort of idea. It's just to simulate what you guys would have at that specific moment. So we're going to go for serration. I'm going to go for heat and corrosive. And I'm going to be forced to kind of use the mods that are low level. So for corrosive, like, this would be your corrosive build right here. You get a corrosive from this, if it will fucking let me. Alright, we'll do that. There we go. So you want heat to be higher than the corrosive, alright? That's the idea. Now we have that. So let's go for crit. So for critical damage, I kind of really like point strike here. You can have it maxed out, which is really, really nice. And then for status, we're going to go for another rifle aptitude here. Just so that way we can just, well, get it over with. Just put the rifle aptitude. Again, we want high status here, so we're going to go for a maxed out one. The reason why I don't want to go for a maxed out serration is because it's going to take up every single bit of my slot. So, for example, if I can find my serration here, boom. See, that takes up a lot, right? So I'm going to go ahead and put a half one there anyways, because you'll probably be able to half it. I have a video on how to farm endo and credits farming credits is like you'll get them along the way as you play, but in the index when you unlock that, or railjack when you have that, it's really nice to have that stuff. So yeah, let's see what else we got. We got Hush, more stuff, Pearson hit. You could go for a split chamber here. So let's go for a split chamber. If possible, we cannot do it because the lowest one is 10. But what I can do then is I can go for a split chamber here. Yeah, that's too big. So let's go for a serration, and let's go for the 6. Boom. That's as good as I'm gonna get it. And let's fight some, I don't know. What's some low levels? I think most people struggle around like the level 40 to 50. So we're gonna go for 50. Just to be safe here, we're gonna go for level 50 on the corrupted heavy gunners. All right, so we're gonna go 50 on level heavy on the corrupted heavy gunners. So this is heating corrosive, so it's not really doing too much to these level 50s. This weapon does innately have slash. So what I could do is I can make this viral and slash here and increase the slash. So that's what we can do. All right, let's do that. Let's go ahead and use heat, or this is the heat and corrosive. So let's go with viral and slash now. So we're gonna go for viral, which is gonna be infected clip, cryo rounds. We're going to go for slash. We got sawtooth clip, sawtooth. We can go also for another serration, just so we can put it in there. I'm going to use the half one this time. Crit. We can go for critical damage, so vital sense here. Maybe a point strike. And then we can go for rifle aptitude. Rifle aptitude. And look for it. Damn. I guess I do have to. Oh, it's an all. Yeah, rifle aptitude. So let's go ahead and do this. So this is going to be the build. Alright. Slash and viral. And if we hover over this, my slash is going to be doing 13.1%, while my viral is going to do 7.8%. So we do want to increase the viral here, probably, to like we can get an infected clip. And do, I don't know, 2? Okay, that's 9. Oh, shit. Maybe increase the cryo rounds? Shit. Alright. I guess that's as good as I'm going to get it. So let's say you don't have the endo for any of it. That's essentially what, like, is going on right now. Is I'm, like, trying to simulate as good as I can for all this stuff. So this is why I like viral and slash for early beginners, because early on, you're gonna get these mods and you can just shred enemies. Now it's gonna be one at a time, right? Pretty much. Gonna be one at a time, which kind of sucks. But for level 50s, I mean, you're gonna be struggling, but again, you can get Forma, you can Forma this build, you can add more polarities to it. And if you don't like the Groctica, then that's totally fine too. You could find a weapon that you really enjoy and a Warframe that you really enjoy and put your time and effort into it. This is just to get an idea of how to make weapons good for you get early on beginners and for the returning players, and just like a refresher too, to get some sort of idea about how to make this. Alright, so now I am going to make this weapon Steel Path viable. How am I going to do that? Well, it's showing a lot of promise with viral and slash, right? It's showing a lot of promise. So I'm going to slap a Forma on here. I'm going to definitely go for a V polarity. V's honestly are one of the best that you're going to get. So since I don't really need serration, but it's really nice, I'm going to go for a full serration here. I'm going to then get rid of these guys and go for full viral. Alright, I'm going to go for full viral here. I'm going to increase that status chance too. Now my slash is really, really garbage, right? It's super garbage. It's hella garbage. It's fucking bad as shit. So maybe instead of going for serration, I could go for some galvanized mods. And the way you get galvanized mods is by completing arbitrations when you're at that point, and when you complete those, then you're able to, what's the term? You're able to then get Vitus Essence. And with that Vitus Essence, you go to the relay and talk to the Arbiters of Hexus. There's a guy standing like to the left of the door, and you're able to trade them in there. But yeah. So now my slash is going to be doing less than the viral. So I kind of want to increase the slash. And since we're hitting some crits here with that 62%, instead of Sawtooth Clip, I'm going to go for 100 munitions because I have a 30% chance to apply slash on crit, which is, in my opinion, a little bit better. So we're going to go with that. I'm going to kill these enemies and we're going to spawn them back in. So these are not Steel Path enemies, but they are level 50s. So as you can tell, I'm kind of just shredding them. And this is the reason why I love to have weapons and learn about how, and teaching other people how to mod, because this is the golden ticket to winning your games, right? This is your golden ticket. And then secondaries are the same kind of way. Like, you want to choose heat, corrosive, viral, or slash. And some weapons are just stat sticks, which that means you want to put as much status as you want. You don't really want to go for criticals. You want to go for mainly slash damage, or like you want to go for status. And put on a weapon like the Redeemer is a good way to, like, you know, have a weapon that has like a condition overload or something. So this right here, I can make this have high crit and condition overload. So I'm going to go for condition overload here, because I'm going to do plus 80% melee damage by status type. I'm going to show you exactly how, well, you're probably not going to get this weapon. This is called the Stropha. I renamed it to Prototype Alpha because it looked, I think it was pretty cool. I'm going to go for a sword that newer-ish players will have. What's a good one to go for? You got the Tatsu, which is nice. You got the Jaw Sword, you got the bow. I got the Ekine, which is nice. The Cyber. The Hate. Yeah, let's go with the Hate. You're going to be fighting the Stalker a lot early on. If you get the Hate to drop, good for you. Let's work on this. Alright? So I have Potato on it, and I have this. So that's the main reason why. I'm going to go for... Oh, I can't do Stalking Fan. Shit. As much as I want to, because that's such a cool looking stance. Alright. That's weird and funny that this has... Oh, they both have the Hate. Alright. That's enough of that. So, let us say you want to go for a nice build for your melees. And you don't have... Again, these are the two Umbral mods. Sacrificial Pressure, Sacrificial Steel. So let's go, instead of Sacrificial Pressure or Sacrificial Steel, let's go for a different build. Alright, let's go for a critical chance and status build, right? So let's go for a double of them. So we're going to go for Pressure Point This mod I have 62 of. Alright, so like you can max this out totally fine. You can go for pressure point, and then we can go for steel. True steel. Then you got some status. So if you want status, you could go for a melee prowess. Again, you can max that out. Then we got slash. So we can go for viral here again. Alright, we can go for viral. I have Vicious Frost, and I have Virgilin Scourge. You get these two mods from killing the Vor in the Void, the Corrupted Vor. Now, if you don't have these two, then you can go for Fever Strike North Wind. And again, you want the slash to be higher than the viral. So we can go for this. That's now higher than the viral, or than the slash. You want viral to be lower than the slash. So we're going to stick with that. Then we can go for some more slash. And we can go for Canis Mandible. Carnus. And if you don't have Carnus, you can go for Jagged Edge. And if you don't have that, you can go for a Rending Strike. Alright, so you can go for a lot of stuff here. Then we got Condition Overload, which may or may not be easy to get. I don't remember, so we're not going to go for it. If it's a weapon I don't remember, or a mod I don't remember getting, or how you get it, I'm not going to talk about it. Berserker Fury, if you have Berserker's Fury, you could go for this. Or if you don't, you can go for regular Fury. And if you don't want to have Rending Strike on here either, you can go for a Reach. I have Primed Reach, so I'm going to use that, but a regular Reach works well as well. So I can go for that, or I can go for Berserker Fury. Alright, so the difference is Berserker Fury, on kill I get plus 35% melee attack speed. So let's go with Fury first, with regular Fury, and instead of anything else. So right now, let's stick with this. Also, did I color this at all? Because it looks nasty. I did. I want to go for like, yeah, that's a better color. Alright. These are again going to be all 50s. So let's try it out. Try it out. So, it's really not that bad. I mean, it's killing stuff. You know? So, if it kills things, that's totally fine. You could go for a heavy attack here. And melee attacks and melee weapons are just completely different. It's a build than anything else. Mainly because you're worried about so many things at once. But yeah, that's how you would build these kinds of weapons. Now, that is for your regular builds, right? Like, it's not too bad when you're gonna be struggling a lot, but the better that you get at formatting and making the weapons better and stronger, then you start getting into things like this weapon right over here, the Stropha, which has 5 forma. Now, it seems like a lot, but that's only because if you're starting off, you're not going to understand how to forma. I don't even have a single Umbra forma on here. All I have is these two mods, Killing Blow, Shocking Touch, Corrupted Charge. So I'm going for Slash and Corrosive, and the reason why I'm going for Corrosive is so I can shred armor. And I'm not really looking to do anything other than heavy attack with it. Which means I'm going for Impact and Corrosive, destroying armor. I'm just going for Armor Shred here for that weapon. And here, on this weapon, I called it Gandhi's Nuclear Silo because of what happened in the very first Civ, or Civilization, for the first one. So, that's this weapon right here. So instead of this being like, you know, hard to get or inobtainable, it is very obtainable, and especially the galvanized mods are. Prime Pistol Gambit is, but this is for like higher level play, right? For higher level stuff. So I'm gonna show you what my higher level gear can do against enemies such as the Corrupted Heavy Gunners here, and I'm gonna put them to max rank to 210. Now, it may not seem like a lot of damage yet, but believe me, it will be very, very soon. And again, this is just for higher level play, just so I can show you what your weapons could be capable of if you sink the time into making your stuff good. And then I'll go on to companions here in just a second. And then this is the weapon I was telling you about, right? I can do upwards of 1,000,000 damage with this weapon. So I can shoot them like that, proc, you know, stat stick them like this, and then just pull this out. You know? So it's really all up to personal preference on what you want from your weapon. So this is the heat and corrosive build that I made. It's not doing too well, but let me show you the viral and slash. I'm also shredding armor due to the heat damage. So heat does damage over time as well as reduces armor. So we're just gonna be blasting them just like this. No wants, no worries. We're just gonna sit here, and I'm just gonna yap my ass off because I like to fucking hear it in my own voice, you know. So it's all chill. And when they die, I'm gonna hit my merciless stacks. I'm with merciless. And you're not going to be fighting these guys alone. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to be fighting these guys only. But it does help to be able to kill things quick. And I can just wail on the trigger here. You know? Just sit right here, wail on this trigger, and just sit in here, pulling the gun, and just killing them. And then look. Boom. So, the best thing about the Tremna is, I kill an enemy, boom, I get the middle bar to what's it called, to go up, and I get to have a little grenade to fire. So this is a heat and so this is the viral and slash build, and so they all do different things, right? The heat and corrosive one requires some time to go up. And then let me show you what Gandhi's nuclear silo can do. And I'm going to show it to you against the world's... These are the new group of enemies called the Murmur. And they resist almost everything besides radiation. So they resist slash, viral, but they're weak against puncture, electricity, and especially radiation. So let me show you what this is going to look like. So we're going to spawn some of these guys in. Pretty neat, right? This is why I love the Latum. The Latum is just an insane weapon. Because let me show you what happens when I use the same build against these guys, the ones that I just created for y'all. Or not created, the one I showed you with the viral and slash. I mean, it's doing stuff. For sure it's doing stuff, but it resists it. So it's not doing as much, and what's doing most of the damage right now, I believe, is the fire, is the heat. So, I'm going to go for radiation here. So we're going to build this the same way I build everything. So radiation. So we're going to go for high voltage. I'm thinking thermite rounds here for radiation. What else? Radiator reload is nice. Put that over here. Galvanized chamber, galvanized aptitude. So chamber and aptitude. So we're going to type in galvanized. We're going to go aptitude. Chamber, reload here. What else do I want? Critical delay I want Vital Sense. And I also want Hammer Shot. So compare this damage real fast to the damage from the heat and corrosive build that I have over here. So we saw how much damage we were just taking, right? So let's go ahead and do heat and corrosive against these enemies right over here. I missed my shots because I like to jump around. Take a look at their health. I'll shot this one more, but since they resist it, they're not going to be taking too much damage. So what I could also do here is I could make it so I have the same thing as Malatum does, which Malatum is heat, corrosive, and radiation when it does a radial attack. So over here, I can go for high voltage. I can go for, what else was it called? Malignant Force. For corrosive, heat. The heat's low. Yeah, heat's lower than the corrosive. So I'm gonna go to radiator reload. I'm gonna shove a hellfire into this. Oh. Wrong thing. I wanna keep the radiator reload. Shit. I fucked up. Hang on. Radiated reload. There we go. Then I wanna go for, I don't know. Get rid of one of these. The critical chance, the critical damage. Yeah, we want to go for the critical chance, but we can get rid of the damage then. And instead we can do heat, like that. Also, it doesn't seem like, did he kill up? No, it went to toxin instead of that. Oh, it's giving, okay, so it's increasing the, yikes, it's increasing the radiation, not the heat. Gotcha. Alright, so I will stick with thermite rounds then. Because now it's all toxin. What? It's giving me toxin. Fuck. Seems like it's visually bugged. Hang on. There we go. Toxin. Oh, because it's saying radiation because of these two. Because it's diagonal. Okay. There we go. That's what we want. Radiator reload. There we go. See? Just messing like with stuff. It was just messing around with stuff. So let's try this again on these enemies. So let's kill them. Let's respawn them and try it. Really not good against these guys, but again, you're not just fighting these guys, right? So you're gonna be fighting a combination of stuff, and that's what I'm saying. Like, if you want to test things out, you have to test them out. Like so. So I'm going to go for the Murmur. I'm going to go for... You could go with the battle group here, and it tells you exactly what you're fighting. So it's going to spawn one of these guys. So it's going to spawn all of these. So let's go ahead and try this out. There we go. And the reason I have them paused is because I just want to test out the weapon builds. And I can test out the Warframe here in just a little bit too. So that's the reason why I have them paused. Because I can test out everything against these guys. There we go. Look at that. So you're not really fighting all of them at once. You're definitely going to be trying to kill them. Now I think that was like one of my first reload. Something like that. Now that's the reason why Prime Surefoot is better. So let's try this out with, well, no, with the regular build that I gave you guys earlier. Alright, let's try this out with the regular build I gave you guys earlier for the level 50s. So I can show you if this will work, if this is actually viable against the new enemy types. Because that's what's important, right? To know if it's going to be worth fighting against, if you're going to have it. So we're going to go ahead and suck in some enemies. So there we go. You're going to have to be jumping around a lot. If you just stand still, you're going to die. That's just the perks of Warframe. Is that you actually have all the verticality in the world to survive. The more vertical you are, the better you're going to live. There we go. So, that is all the weapons and the Warframes, right? So, that is for Warframes. Now, on to the companions that you can get. You have your choice of carrier. You got the infested, Helminth. You got regular carriers. You got death cubes. You got Doriga. You got the Djinns. You got crew bros. And you got Kavats. You also have new Volpathylas, Panzer Volpathyla, or Sly Volpathyla. In my opinion, Panzer's better. And you also get these hounds if you kill stuff. Like the Sisters of Parvos. You can get that from them. You also have the MOBA. So let's start off with the classic. I'm going to go with Grape Juice here. So Grape Juice is a Kubro. May not be a good looking Kubro, but it's a Kubro. So, what do you want on your Kubro? You could go for an Orkin Catalyst on here. You can slap a form on it. Doesn't really matter. What I recommend you do is get more health for your Kubro. Alright? Actually, Kubros are going to be the first thing. So, yeah. Kubros are going to be your first companions in the game. Alright? Because you get them on Earth. And they're hard, and they're easier to get than the Kavats. So, we're going to go with these guys. You're going to go for like an enhanced vitality or redirection. You could go for linked redirection and you can go for linked vitality. For sure you could do that. You could also go for a scavenge so they can help you open up lockers and stuff. You can also get fetch to help you with your ammo and things like that. So there you go. That could be your build. Link vitality. Increase health by 114% of your Warframe's max health. So, take a look at Grape Juice's health here, right? 3,783. If I pick my Limbo, who's the lowest of the low on health for me, he now goes down to 1,260. But that's fine. Catabomb is what I used whenever I was just farming stuff. I personally like the short. Limbo's a great Warframe. I like him. Dante's good. Let us go for Warframe. Yeah, let's use Limbo actually. Let's use Limbo. Let me use Limbo. As he is weak, I'm gonna use Limbo. And I'm gonna go with his Catabomb state. And I'm gonna go for the Groctica here. I'm gonna go for the Onos, which is only one forma. But I need to make a weapon a little bit better, so I'm gonna go with the Marelock. The Marelock's a cool weapon. It sucks, but it's a cool weapon. I'm gonna go for a Hornet Strike here. I could go for secondary adapter, but I'm not going to. So you see like how much I having the capacity. I'm not gonna put a thing on here just so I can show you. I want to go for viral and slash for this weapon. Because status is high, but the critical chance is a little low. So I'm going to go for a nice viral slash build here. So I'm going to go for slash. I can go for razor shot. And then I got Hornet Strike. Hornet Strike. So I'll put Hornet Strike there and I'll put Frostbite down here. And then I think I can go for crit, right? No, because I don't have enough. Alright, that's fine. The reason for this is because I want to show you this on level 50 enemies real fast. And see if this will kill any of these guys level 50. See if I'll live. These are one of the hardest enemy types too. I might die here, but the reason I like Limbo is because I can go into the Borderlands with the cell shading. So, let me take out the Marelock here. So as you can tell, Grape Juice is really not having a good time. He's probably going to die. So yeah, you can remove the arms of these creatures and they... So now when your companion dies, it will revive itself. But the reason why I like Sentinels is because they can no longer... You don't have to revive them and they'll just revive on their own, which is nice. Because sometimes I would have like my carrier die on me, and then there's no point for me to use Sentinels. So now that everything can revive, I'm like, there's no point in me using a Kavat. But there is a point. If you have a Smita, it can increase your loot chance and drops by 2%. Or no, it can double them. So like, let's say I have a Lanthorn drop, I can bring it to be from 1 to like 2, or from 1 to even 3. But Bathaiwas are nice because when they die, they will revive themselves and they'll still be able to shoot. And they're actually a good thing for viral. So you can go for a viral build with them. No issues. Or hardly any. So when it does that attack, it has damage reduction. So it's pretty cool that creature can do that. As you can tell, I'm not really living too well, and I might die here. But that's why when you're early on in your adventure in Warframe, you need to be with like a group of people. Oh shit, it's following me. The Hollowed Vein. Uh oh. You could mercy kill. I believe. Where the fuck is it? Yeah, you can just grab this guy and mercy kill it. Now you're gonna revive the dog. So this was a build I had for it, the Serration with the viral and the slash and stuff, so it was kind of tough. And if I put this up against enemies level 250 or 210, I mean, I'll probably die. You know, I don't think I'm gonna be able to survive here. I think I'm just gonna get one shot, more than likely. So, you know, it's all about perspective on how you want to do things. That's why I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have a randomizer. I'm actually gonna make a randomizer for weapons and stuff, just so I can be like, okay, well, this weapon needs help, so I can just know which weapon I can be making stronger, make it better. And if I can't make it better, I'll just give up on it and say, okay, well, maybe I'll never use this weapon, but maybe I'll have a chance for a different one. And I only do Steel Path. And see, I just died. I can revive myself here. See, well, you can get one shot. And it's not like the best build in the world. And I died again. So yeah, like, you gotta be able to make your Warframe stronger. And just jump around. Because if I stand still like this, I'm invulnerable right now. But if I come over here, I think I start taking damage. So I can just like show right here. As you can tell, my health is just chunked. They just do 300 something damage and just pop me and kill me. So it's really not. It's really not good. Alright, so that's these enemies. What about if I go for the corrupted battle group instead? So I'll show the corrupted battle group. Or I just died. So the Orc battle group is what they're called. The Orc battle group. So I spawn these guys in. These are one of the toughest enemies to fight, and died instantly. So, let's try out the Grendel build now that I showed you guys. Do you guys remember the Grendel build? If you want, here it is again. This is the build. We're going to go with this. So let me try this out with, oh wait, kill the enemies. Let's respawn. Let's clear them all out again. A whole battle group. I'm going to focus on the butchers here first because they like to get up close and personal. So I'll kill them. And I'll actually suck in everyone. And I'll just slam the ground. Oh, we died immediately. Dude, let's spin them out. I didn't have enough armor. There we go. We only have one person in my belly. Are we calling for it? So I use their health for my own. The corrupted warden. Let's grab him. And he's not dead. So you could just run around, you know, grab people. Come here, bitch. Hurry, hurry. Grundle's pretty hard to get, so we can try this with, like, I don't know, regular Volt. Or, no, Volt Prime. We can try Volt Prime. Or, like, a Loki or something, too. So, let's try this. With, like, a Mag, actually. A lot of people like Mag. She's a good Warframe. Not really my favorite, but she's good. She's alright. She's decent. So, let's try out with the Orc and Battle Group. I don't know what I did there, but I did something. Alright. I don't even know what build I have for her, to be honest with you. Huh. 50. Okay, so I don't have much. Oh, I died. So let's kill him. Actually, real fast. Let's kill the enemies. So we can make a better build for her. Alright. Let's make a better build for my Mag. Here we go. The stance is telling me that the stance is a V like that, but I don't like the V. I'm gonna go for Dreamer's Bond. I'm not gonna go for any of those mods. I want to go for like Constitution. I have some Z mods, so let's see what we got. We got Counter Pulse, Polarize, Augment, enemy weapons are jammed and robotics are disabled. And I got Fracturing Crush. Crush gains 50% of casting speed. The armor of surviving enemies are decreased by 75%. They're unable to move. Alright, we can go for that. And we can also go for a Streamline so we don't have to worry about it. So we're going to go for a Streamline here. And we're going to go for a Flow. I'm going to put a Prime Flow on here because I can. And I also have a Streamline so I can go for that. I got Continuity so we can go for this. But I have a Prime Continuity so I'll go for that instead. Then I got, well, now I'm going to need Vitality and Redirection. So I'm going to go for Primed Redirection and a Vitality. And then what else can I go for? I can go for more duration then. Or I can go for range. I'll go for range. There we go. Boom. Clear it. Work in battle group. Simulate. There you go. And there you have it. We could also go for instead of this, we can go for Energy Nexus. Aw, shit. No, we can't because we have this. We have Streamline. We have this Crush Augment. We can get rid of that. I'm not really gonna need that much. And we can go for regular redirection. Sorry. There we go. We can go for that instead. Top of that, we could go for an Energize here. Maybe a Molt Augmented. And then we can go for the Murmur group again. The Murmur battle group. So let's go for the Murmur battle group and spawn them in. Oh, I died. So there you go. There you have it. That's how you mod in Warframe. Just pick your favorite Warframes or Warframes you're struggling with. Give them strength and focus on their abilities that you want to like really capitalize on. For example, I capitalized on the Magnetize on Mag and the Crush. And yeah, that's essentially it. Yeah, I have nothing else to say. Hopefully you guys learned a thing or two about how to mod a Warframe as a beginner to mid to even, expert. And if you have any questions, I go live on Twitch almost every single day, so you guys can pop into the streams or type into the comments here. I read them all. So, yeah, you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.